So the BP Oilspill, very interesting topic, and a very interesting exposure of the outcomes of our accepted and allowed systems we are supporting, and all the time everything is fine and works fine, and we have our benefit out of the system. Nobody thinks about the fears and the danger and the possible outcomes if something goes wrong, like in this case. And we all put our trust in those people that are on the top, that are at the top of the elite and of the industry, and we don't even take into consideration that they may fail somehow, or even if they fail, we are not responsible, but we are responsible for that. And I want to talk about the chief of BP, the top manager. I don't know, I don't have his name at the moment. Howard. I'm gonna put it in the title, I don't know exactly, but if you see what he is acting like and how he behaves at the moment, it is absolutely fascinating. I mean, we all should know that this is not his responsibility alone. We are all responsible for that, and it is our way of life that is supporting the system. He is participating in a system and having success in a system that rests upon our shoulders, and we are all supporting and maintaining it. We are buying it, so we are all responsible for that, and this is not his fault alone. I mean, it's very interesting, isn't it, to see a top manager like him. I think he was celebrating himself all the time, as everything worked fine for him, and living on and squandering money and resources for hundreds of people. I think his payment from BP was about $1.5 million a year, and his last bonus payment was about $2.5 million in 2008, and yes, everything worked fine for him. Everything was perfectly alright. The system was okay. Everything was good. Now catastrophe is there, and there has to be someone to blame, and unfortunately he is the one who is on the top of this industry, and so he is the one to blame for everybody. And now he's standing there and whining like a little boy, crying, "I want my life back." That was his words. "I want my life back." And it's unbelievable to see that, but it is a great exposure of equality, and that there is nobody superior to another one. And I know it's absolutely normal to me, but you have to always take into consideration that these people on the top of the system are the same dumbasses as we all are, and you can see such things. And when the system crashes, when there is a crash and an unexpected change in their life, and if they are a popular and public person, you can see this. And if you follow his public interviews these times, you can perfectly follow this and see this exposed. And you can see for sure that this is not an education that brings you there and that gets you into those positions. You cannot call it education. It is, you learn something, you learn how to deal with the system, how to act with the people, and that's all. Education would mean that you can act freely in every situation, even in such a situation he is in now, and obviously he cannot handle this situation. No way. So what you learn, or what he has been learning, is something that works very fine as long as the system works fine. But when there are difficulties, changes or problems, you are fucked and you can't react spontaneously to the situation, and that would be what an educated man or woman would do. And I mean, when you take education serious, I think this is something that builds the whole human being. It has to affect the whole human being and not only the mind, the ego. And that is what our current education system is doing. It is forming an ego that can make his way through the system very easily. But you see, when the system breaks at some stage, breaks down, you are helpless like a little baby, and you start to cry for your mommy, and you start to whine like the chief of BP is doing now. You can see it, follow it, open your eyes to the system and take responsibility for what you've done and what you've accepted, and don't support these structures any longer. So he sold his soul to the devil, means to the system, and you like that as long as the system supports you. But what you don't know, or what you are ignorant about, is that the system gives a fuck about you and your little life. And whenever the system feels to change and needs to change, or somebody changes the system, you will be fucked and you will be simply thrown out, and all your expectations or whatever you wanted to be in the system will be gone, and you will be standing there alone on your own. And if you don't know who you are and what you really are, you will be really fucked. I mean, how can you make him responsible for this? It's absolutely stupid. He wasn't down there smoking a cigarette or something and causing the explosion. It is absolutely bullshit. We are all accepting and allowing that they are doing such things, that they are going for the oil down there. And if you believe that such things can't happen, or will never happen if you do everything right, then you are fucking stupid. And we are allowing and accepting that these things happen, and they have to. It would be absolutely unnatural if they wouldn't. And what you're doing is, or what we are doing is, we are accepting these things as long as everything works fine. And when the inevitable, horrible catastrophe comes, we surely find someone to blame and point our fingers on him and send him to hell. And then we go on doing the same shit. So first of all, maybe we should stop allowing people like him to have such responsibilities at all, because the only reason they are doing it is for money and for their greed, and they are not even able to deal with themselves. And you can absolutely fine see this now when they are fucked, when their system crashes, and you can see how dependent they have been on these structures. And when they are standing there alone, they break down and cry like little wimps. And those people are actually on the top of our system, in the top positions, and making the decisions for the whole humanity. And that is why we're in such a mess. But even if he would have had some more eloquent answer or presented some more eloquent statements to this disaster, this would only have been a pre-designed speech, just pretending, and not the real true self of him or of these people in general. Whenever this is the case and somebody is presenting a perfect statement to some catastrophe or disasters or crashes, it is just a designed speech to delude the people, deceive the people. So it doesn't matter this way or the other. It is better to be as honest as him, as he is. This gives us the possibility to see behind the veils of wealth, luxury, success,